What up? What up? What up? Welcome back to another episode. I realized as the Coachella tickets are dropping today that I didn't finish my series of day one, day two, day three recap. My day one, day two recap is up. I'll put links to that in the video. But I was tired. I said that in day two. It was a very tiring experience, but I will recap day three. And then I want to give you like a buying guide for those that are going to purchase tickets tomorrow. Just what I did, the package I got, and the pros and cons of it. So that's what I'm going to end the show with. So first off, day three. I mean, if you followed it already, you know the whole Frank Ocean fiasco. I went weekend one, so we got let me start. So after day one and day two, I said in day one, it was a whirlwind. That was my first festival, let alone Coachella. It was just a mess, right? Day two, I thought I had it, found out I didn't have it, like an idea, a schedule, what we wanted to do. Ended up missing a lot of acts. I saw a lot of acts, but I missed a lot of acts. I talked about it in both of those videos. Day three, though, I will give myself credit. What I figured out on day three, and you can take this how you want it, is ideally you'll probably be able to see 3 or 4 artists on that day. Now, if you look at a lineup, you'll see that there's a lot of people that go on a day, but I'm going to break it down to you like this. Based off the stage distance from each other, it's going to take you probably like 30, 45 minutes to an hour to get from one stage to another, right? It's probably going to take you 45 minutes to an hour to get food or snacks, right? It's probably going to take you 45 minutes to an hour to get to use the restrooms, right? And that's not a bad thing considering how many people were there. But when you take that into account, as I did on day three, you realize that if you want to see one artist at 2:30 on the Sahara stage, and then another artist at, 3:15, right? That seems like 2:30, or I'm sorry, if it starts at 2:30, it probably end at like 3:30. So you want to see another artist at 3:55. Let's even say 4 o'clock. One artist starts at 2:30, one starts at 4. You're like, oh, that's an hour and a half. I have 30 minutes. You will not, because of those things. If you have to use the restroom, if you have to eat, or if you have to get to the next stage, it's going to take you a hot little second to get there, right? Now, again, if you're one of those people that's going to be running around, drugged up, sprinting, we saw people sprinting the stages, you could probably make it. But somebody like me, as I mentioned before, that wasn't the case. So I figured out a system where we were basically, I put about 2.5 hours in between each act. So let's say if we saw Glorilla on the main stage, and then 2 or 3 hours later was Lotto. And there was artists in between, but I was like, okay, we're going to see Lotto. But in between that, we'll get food, restaurant, whatever. We made it to Lotto. And then from Lotto, 2 or 3 hours after that, it was, I forget who the artists were. Oh, I think it was Kali Uchis, actually. I believe it was. And it's basically like you want to give yourself a 2.5, 3 hour gap to like comfortably make the artists you want to see. I missed a lot of artists. I said it before. I missed Toby and Wigway. I miss Pusha T. We miss Shanessa. We miss I'm just going off the top of the head. We missed the Gorillas. We missed so many people because I underestimated the time needed. So day three was much better. Day three gave me hope that I could attend another Coachella with that game plan. I will say that. Now to the Frank Ocean thing. I've said many times, like, I didn't grow up listening to Frank Ocean. I knew about him. I've never listened to an album. I've heard whatever singles made it to like pop radio, right? So every time I tell people that, they go, probably how you're reacting, like, well, you got to listen to Blonde. You got to listen to Channel Or. Oh, man, you're going to love it. Do you like this person? Oh, you're going to love him. People was telling me he was bigger than Drake, The Weeknd. So I'm like, dope. What better way to get introduced to an artist than to see them perform live, right? Frank was supposed to go on at, I don't remember. Frank was supposed to go on, let's just say 10 o'clock, right? Mind you, every artist up until Frank Ocean started, any artist started on time or maybe a couple of minutes later, right? We got in position and sat down probably around 7 o'clock for Frank Ocean. and it was already packed. A lot of people came strictly for him. There were people already in position having their spots 6, 7 o'clock already, right? So we already tired at that point. We get some food. We find a little spot. We post up. We like, cool. You know what? Let's see what all the hype's about. Let's watch Frank Ocean. 10 o'clock comes, nothing. Nothing on the screen, dark. Okay, cool, whatever, I was like, oh, okay, he's a big artist. Maybe he's doing the fashionably late thing, 10:15, 10:20, 10:30, 10:40, 10:50. The screen finally does something, still nothing, no announcements, no nothing. 11 o'clock comes, this video on a loop where these people look like they're just marching. And I'm telling you this prior to everything that's come out since. So keep that in mind. We didn't know all the stuff that was going on prior to, we were there live. And then it's just this video on loop. They're walking back and forth. I'm like, all right, what is this? That goes on for about 5 to 10 minutes. Now I'm like, all right, this is, you know what I'm saying? Like whoever he is, everybody else they started it on time. This dude was like an hour late already. And mind you, it was Sunday. One thing you do not know is they end early on Sunday because Palm Springs has a curfew because it's a work day the next week. So you have to, I think shows have to end an hour earlier than like Friday and Saturday shows. So I'm already thinking in my back of my head, like they're going to shut this down because the curfew is the curfew regardless, right? So then, especially on Sunday, more stricter on Sunday. Finally, he starts to sing. Everybody's going crazy. He's sounding good. I'm like, okay, cool. Here we go. Like, I'm kind of already tired. It's day 3. I've been out here all day. That's another thing too. There's no leaving and going back. Once you're there all day, and you're going to spend hundreds of dollars on food. Shouts out that the water was only $2, but the food was ridiculous. He's singing, he starts to sing, and then midway through his song, he stops. And then he gets up. Mind you, I didn't even know who he was. We were trying to look to see who he was. We finally figured out he looked like he had a hoodie. He was playing like a piano, and then he stops and then walks to the back. And it was like, okay. At that point, my internal clock went off. It's late. I know we got to leave tomorrow. I'm ready to go home and pack. I'm over this, right? Then he starts singing again. And then I want to say he stopped again. But after that, we left. Now, prior to us leaving, it was people in droves leaving because the way they set it up, he was the only person performing. So all of Coachella was there. And people in droves were leaving like every 30-minute increments. Every 30 minutes, he was later and later. People kept leaving. We left. Walked all the way to the shuttles, didn't hear anything. About time we got home, my brother who was there stayed, said, man, he done left the stage talking about they kicking me off because of the curfew. And I was like, oh, I would have lost it if I was there. So someone who isn't a fan, who's just meeting him, bad first impression, right? Didn't get to hear any music. You got the fans like his brother passed away and that was their thing. They went to Coachella and then you find out like he hurt his leg and there was a whole bunch of other things. And even people telling me, oh, that's what Frank does. Like we'll be surprised. So we'll be surprised if he shows up. So apparently he has a history of doing this. So they were defending him and I'm like, cool. I completely understand as a fan, you're bought into the life, you're bought into the storyline. So a lot of people were just happy that he was there, his presence. Cause I think it's been like 5 or 6 years or something crazy since he's performed. So I completely understand it from a fan point, but I was always trying to say that from like, Coachella is also an opportunity to get new fans and to put your music out to new people. And he failed at that. Right now, whether he cares or whether he needs it or y'all can say all that, but I'm just telling you as someone who did not listen to his music, who was looking forward, I made sure I was there. Highly disappointed, right? And then the sad part is you go on the weekend too, they end up taking him off the show. And I remember reading the Coachella Reddit and someone was on a plane on their way to California for weekend too and found out and was like devastated. And I'm like, dang. And then he didn't stream, which I know a lot of main acts do, but it's like people who couldn't see you, who haven't seen you in 6 years, you didn't let them see you stream. He didn't have any merch. All of the headliners had merch. He didn't have any merch. Now, again, if that's who he is and what he does, cool. But as somebody who's on the outside, it's like, bro, like you don't give a damn about your fans. It seems like that's just how it came off. I'm just saying it's a neutral party in this. So it was horrible. It was a horrible experience, and I felt bad for the fans. I felt bad for the fans. Like if I wanted to see Metro Boomin. Of all the people, I knew Metro Boomin was going to do it, and we all know what Metro Boomin did. If Metro Boomin came out there and did that, I would have been pissed, very disappointed, and I would have been embarrassed for those I probably recommended. Like, you got to go see Metro, and he did that. So I felt bad for his fans. But that was pretty much weekend 3 in a nutshell. It was just figuring out how to navigate, and then by that time you kind of know where the stages are, because like the first day I'm constantly looking at the map like, where's the Sahara, where's the main stage, where's the outdoor stage, because I'd never been. So by day 3 we knew where the stages were, we knew how to navigate, we knew when to go, how to avoid the crowd. You kind of figure it out. So day 3 was great on that standpoint. Took a lot of naps that day, slept in the grass. I thought it was one of the coolest experiences, just thinking about it. Like, damn, like I'm up in Coachella, so it was pretty dope. And then we got up out of there, checked out, and headed home. So that was pretty much day 3. Fun time though. Like I say, day 1, day 2, I was like, bro, I'm never doing this again. Not because it was bad, it's just my body. I'm a little older now. I was like, I should have did this in my 20s. Never doing it. But by day 3, once I figured it out, I was cool. So that was day 3. And shouts out Lotto, great live performance. I was surprised they put Glorilla on the main stage. I felt like, I mean, it's a great opportunity for her, but I feel like she probably wasn't ready for that. That's pretty big, but again, good for her. But Lotto killed it. That's my first time seeing her live. I was impressed. I'm trying to figure out who else we saw. It's been a minute now, but overall, it was actually, I got the one of the shirts here. I was gonna bring that up too. We saw Kali Uchis. We saw her. She was fantastic. Yeah, we missed No Name. I didn't see A Boogie with a hoodie. I think that was it that we missed. But yeah, day 3. And then I just got my shirts in the mail not too long ago. I ordered them in May. They came like a couple of weeks ago. I will say the one that I'm wearing now, this one, it has like all the stages on the back. This one fits great. It's a large, but this one, which has all the like all the lineups on it with the cool Coachella thing in the front, like it's dope, but it fit weird. And honestly, with it being Coachella, I would have thought that the shirts probably would have had, a little bit more premium, a little bit. This feels very, flea market-ish, iron-on-ish, very thin. And I'm like, bro, we paying thousands of dollars. Y'all can get us some premium cotton. I mean, I think the shirts cost like $35, but still, I was like, God dang, I was expecting a little bit more material from the merch. I'm probably going to frame this one since it doesn't fit me right. And that was my idea anyway, like frame it with I've seen people's studios where they got like Coachella shirts framed. So I was going to do that anyway. But I don't know. I would, if I had to rate it, probably like a 5 out of 10 on the merch, on these shirts. I wasn't spending that much on them hoodies and all the other stuff. If you're gonna see me with a merch, I'm probably gonna do a t-shirt and call it a day. But just heads up if you do any merch. I mean, you could probably do it at the festival, but the lines are ridiculously long as well. Again, everything you do is probably gonna take you an hour minimum to get around. So just remember that. Now, with the tickets dropping today, I wanted to basically give you guys a review of what I did and if it makes sense for you, and just tell you how beneficial it was. So I did the hotel package with the anytime shuttle, general admission pass at the Hilton Homewood Suites in La Quinta. It came out to about $3,500, and they had a payment plan. You put a little bit down, and then they broke it down for 6 months. I think that's amazing. I tell people all the time, if they're gonna give me a payment plan or a lot of time in between to pay it off, I'm probably gonna end up doing it. So the payment plan was amazing. It's just an auto pay off your direct deposit not direct deposit, off your card. I put a credit card on there, paid it off, where you got points off of it, all that cool stuff. But that was the package I did. Anytime shuttle, 2 general admission passes, La Quinta, Hilton Homewood Suites in La Quinta. I know a lot of people say like, you got to camp and that's the best experience is camping. And while that may be, let me tell you something. When you walking around all day in that heat and your body's sore and all that dirt done just kicked up in your nose and you're breathing it in all your clothes, the last thing I want to do is go into a tent and not only sleep in the tent, have to stand in line in some showers and then sleep somewhere where you don't have any control of what goes on out there. And you heard a lot of complaints of people playing loud music and continuing the party, which is fair, Like, I'm not knocking it. I'm saying I wouldn't appreciate that, which is why I went this route. So that's something to think about if you're thinking about camping. So that's the one thing. The benefit to the hotel is the shuttles, first of all, are like chartered buses. I was expecting school buses or like some I can't even think of the name, but I was expecting some bootleg shit. So I was pleasantly surprised that they were air conditioned, chartered buses, nice seats. The buses were fantastic. So that was great. And for that particular hotel that I stayed in, it picked you up right in front. And the people out there had like waters for you, and you stood in line and you got free waters. That was dope. But the benefit is, after all of that, we get the shuttle. I ain't got to worry about driving, so you can still drink and do whatever. Drops you right off in front of the hotel. Go in, take a nice hot shower, sleep in a nice, keen, comfortable bed. Had some, television if you wanted to watch TV. Had Wi-Fi. I was doing my podcast out there, editing content and pictures. You got air conditioning that you could blast all day. You're not paying for. Then the reason why I chose Hilton Homewood Suites, and I've stayed in a lot of them, is you're getting breakfast every morning. Good breakfast too. And think about, you're partying all day, you're drinking and doing drugs and stuff. They got bananas, fruits, oatmeal, bagels, coffee, water, cereal, eggs, bacon, biscuits, gravy, like the whole works, feeding you every day. So you got a guaranteed meal every morning. They have a pool that a lot of people didn't use. So we hopped in the pool before we went to for day 2, was in a hot tub and all that. Then those studios have like kitchenettes, sink, stove, microwave, and fridge. So you can either go grocery shopping and cook food, or if you got leftovers, you can heat it up. Waters, drinks, you can store it, freezer, ice, the works, right? So for me, that was fantastic I was able to go as hard as I wanted to at Coachella because I knew when I came back, I was going to be able to recover. So keep that in mind. Now, mind you, from a financial standpoint, if you're just one of those people that just need to be there to see the music, maybe if you're buying today, you don't know who's going to be there, then, by all means, camping is going to be way cheaper, right? But just understand that that's what you're going to be dealing with. Is you don't know who you're going to be next to. You might get dope neighbors. You might get the worst neighbors. You're going to be standing in line for showers and just trying to do all that. And then at the end of the night, you're going to be sleeping on an air mattress, or some people sleep in their cars. And I camp. So I've camped. So I pitch tents, air mattresses, coolers. Like, I have everything to camp. That's why I was actually considering it. But then I was like, when we camp, we just go and relax. I stay in slides. You stay dirty for the most time. Like, you shower, but for the most part, you just chilling for the weekend. Coachella, for at least me, I make content. I'm trying to be fresh, put on nice clothes, smell good. I need the proper surroundings to do that. So it all depends, but I figured I'll give you guys insight on my exact package. And I already looked, and they still have it. They might have went up a little bit, but it was the King Suite Studio. Had a layout couch. If you got friends, I think it sleeps up to 4 people, and everything else I described. So that is the package I have. I highly recommend it if you like that balance. But hey, if you just want to thug it out, I've heard great things about camping. I'm sure people who have camped can comment on it. It's a great experience. It's right outside of the park. So imagine you just wake up and you see the Ferris wheel and you just could just walk straight to it. So I completely get the convenience of it. But that was my experience. Have I listened to Frank Ocean yet? No, not really. It seems like I would like his music, but it just, that was left a bad taste in my mouth. Am I going again this year, next year? No, I am not, because I have a kid on the way. So all my money would be tied up in that. But I definitely look forward to going in the future with my kid. I saw people in there with strollers and kids. I was like, ugh, there's a lot of people. I don't know if I do that. But overall, fun time. Coachella was amazing, especially if you're a music lover. A lot of people is like, oh, this lineup is trash. This lineup is trash. You can ask anybody that went, and some of the diehard Coachella people I was seeing in the Reddit forum, they were saying, yo, this is back in the day. They're bringing back the energy. And I think what it was is there wasn't too many like headliners. That's why like the surface people said that the lineup was whack, but it was a lot of real artists. There was true artistry. Every stage we went to, that person, and this could be every year, but for me, that person was giving it their all. The production was on point. They were playing instruments, the vocals, like everybody was on point. And you got so much. You got Bjork, however you pronounce it. You're getting Lotto, you're getting Glorilla, you're getting Caliucci's, you're getting Pusha T, you're getting Metro Boomin, you're getting Frank. Like it was such a variety, and me as a music lover, I was just liking just walking. I think we walked on Rosalia, and we were just leaving. We were leaving K Tronada, who was another fantastic performer. We stumble over Rosalia, and I'm like, okay, let's see. We sat down, ended up watching her whole performance. Never heard her music, never seen her perform. She was fantastic, and that's what I think you would take away from Coachella is don't go looking. Obviously, go for who you want to go, but also, check out stuff you've never heard. Go to the EDM set, a DJ set, or a rap set. You never know. You'll find a new artist. You'll have new music to listen to, and I think that's what the main goal of going to a Coachella is. So this year, holy crap, that was this year. This year was an amazing experience. I kind of mad I wasn't going before. I felt like if I would have did this in my 20s, I would have been one of those people going every year for sure. But I'm glad I did it. It's definitely a bucket list thing, and I'm definitely going to try to get back for sure. But again, appreciate y'all for listening. Full episodes, whogottheaux.com for audio only. YouTube, Who Got the Aux Media. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Who Got the Aux, one word. Who Got the Aux _ on Twitter. Reddit, Who Got the Aux. Who Got the Aux pretty much anywhere. You can check me out, subscribe, follow. Shouts out to everybody. Good luck getting tickets today. And I hope you guys enjoy your Coachella experience next year. I'll see y'all at the next episode. I'm out of here.